I think North Korea has shifted back to a more normal mode in terms of dealing with the United States, of putting a threat out there, backing away from the threat, and then indicating to the United States that it will determine whether and to what degree it actually implements this threat. The North Koreans, I think, were very careful about never actually saying that they were going to hit Guam or actually launch those missiles. There was an implied threat. But once again, I think Secretary Mattis's comments yesterday indicating that the United States
about
would
an act of
take
war.
that missile out, that sent a pretty powerful message to the North Koreans. But at the same time, if people are inclined to say that we've dodged a bullet here, I would suggest that the bullet was never intended to be fired in the first place by either side.
So this is fully bluster on both sides?
Well, it's bluster, but it's bluster that made an important point. From the North Korean perspective, they have now arrived as a nuclear weapon state. That was part of the message. They are now prepared to deal with the United States as one nuclear power to another. This is their perspective. And they are prepared to re-engage with the United States now from a position of strength from their perspective.
Does this open the doors to negotiations of any sort, or
I think
talks between the two countries?
I think the door to negotiation has always been open. That's been pretty clear from the U.S.
Does it make
side.
it more likely, I guess?
But I think what it does is it sends a message to the United States that the next time North Korea and the United States sit down, from North Korea's perspective, North Korea will be able to tell the United States, we are a nuclear weapon state and we will deal with you as an equal. Whether there's a bit of hot air to that or not is another question. But this is the North Korean message.
I mean, at least you're making it sound as if this is a regime that, at the very, I'm going to have to say at the end of the, no, at the end of the day. I don't want to say at the end of the day, but I got to.
You're using it properly.
But that ultimately, thank you. That ultimately, there will be a rational counterpart for the United States to deal with. So there is some. We shouldn't just think of this guy as just off the wall. Self-destructive.
He's not off the wall. He's not irrational. He is dangerous. He has nuclear weapons. They are prepared to threaten the use of them, but they are not so foolish as to actually use those weapons or prepare to use those weapons.
I mean, that's what I always thought. You know, to be crazy and do some of the stuff that he enjoys doing, obviously, you do need to be alive to do. And God knows what his predilections are. Exactly. I heard about his father. Remember the crazy.
But once again, look at where we are right now. The United States made some threats. The North Koreans made some threats. But neither side took any concrete actions to actually materialize those threats.
So, that's why I said, yes, mutually assured destruction is still, it still works.
Well, there is a school of thought, and I sometimes subscribe to it, that believes that the North Koreans don't necessarily believe in mutually assured
that's
destruction.
that's what I was worried about. How could they not believe in it? Who wouldn't be destroyed?
I've had a number of conversations with North Korean officials that have convinced me that if we simply rely on containment and deterrence, the way that we did with the Soviet Union back in the day, the way that we do with Russia and China today. The North Korean message to me in some of these conversations is we are not necessarily going to play that game. Now, once again, that may be bluff, it may be bluster, it may be posturing, but it really worries me going forward.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.